about it.
Then be you and be great. And favor yourself over your worries. Do you feel like winning today? Then be you and be great. And favor yourself.
Great day, great day, great day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be while you're viewing this broadcast. I am Angella Wynn, your host. You are tuned in to Winning Today with Angella right here on Elevation TV Network, where all we do is, y'all know how I do it, win, win, win. Today I have a special guest. And I tell you, you may want to get your pen, get your paper. Go ahead and share this out with 2 or 3 or 4, 5, 6 of your friends and let them know, hey, you want to tune in to Winning Today with Angella, with Pastor David A. Cowan in the house. And I'm going to do my whoop, 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 whoop in the house. And I tell you that the word that's going to come forth tonight, you will not want to miss it. It's something just for you. So sit back, relax, put your seatbelts on because, hey, here we go. Pastor Cowan, I'm so glad that you said yes to joining us right here on the platform. But I'm going to zip it and I'm going to let the Holy Ghost do what he does. And I'm going to turn it over to you, man of God.
Good evening. We're so excited to be with Sister Angella today as we're dealing with winning today. And that's what it's all about is winning in life every day. Stand on top of every situation, in control of every situation in our lives, knowing that we was created to win, to rule and reign and have dominion in this life. So we're living life as it's meant to be and not as it is. And this is important because as we go forth today, I want to share some things with you about dealing with relationships, about relationships that are so important. And we're talking about expectations of relationships. I know there are many teachings on relationships and how important those teachings are. There are many books that have been written about relationships, and this information is vital in the time that we live in. And so we're excited that to have the moment to be with you and share these moments with you because I believe they are life changing. I believe, and I'm as a pastor, as a teacher, and a mentor, as well as a counselor, I understand the different scenarios that many people find themselves in dealing with relationships. And we've come to discover that a lot of the sickness that are in people's lives is because of their relationships, the stress, the tension, the anxiety that many people are experiencing in relationship is traumatizing. It's traumatizing to the nerve, the mental, the emotion, or the physical aspect of the body. And so, as much as we can to resolve or simplify relationship matters, the easier I believe that we're going to see a lot of physical, mental, and emotional sicknesses leave people's lives. And we'll begin to have strong functional families because of the marriage, because of the relationship is healed. So healing is important even in this aspect, just beyond the physical, some sickness and disease, to have the emotional healing that is needed in so many people's lives. And so again, we're so excited to be with you. So just get ready. Let's dive in because time is precious, and Sister Angella Wynn have given us a precious moment to share with her audience and to you around the world about relationships. And so I want to deal again with the expectations of relationships. So let's deal with the number one thing is, what is your expectation when it comes down to relationship? Because relationship is based upon relating. When we're dealing with the expectation that each one of us individually possess about a relationship, it based upon what we're expecting not only to give to the relationship, but what we're expecting to receive out of the relationship. How we're expecting this other person to respond to your giving, to your love language, to your expectation, your generosity, your freedom or your liberty to relate to them. And how do we relate? We relate mentally, emotionally, physically. It's how we relate to people. And that relationship is also dealt with the physical, where we're touching, we're feeling, whether we're romantically hugging each other or physically kissing each other or eye visual toward each other. We relate to each other um, vocal, verbally, and sometimes even mentally or silent. We relate to each other. So, with all these different ways of how we relate to each other, the strongest one that we relate to each other is in our communication. It's in our communication. This is a powerful arena that we have to understand that men and women relate from two different expectations. We relate to each other with two different ways of communicating our thought. And because of the lack of understanding our communication lines, many times we find ourselves in miscommunication, misfiring in our communication, misinterpreting our interpretation. One of the ways, example I can give you with this, that even though a woman speaks verbally, she's speaking not from how she thinks, but how she feels. When a man speaks, even though he speaks verbally, he's not speaking from a feeling perspective. He's speaking from a thinking perspective. And so therefore, when they say something, either one of them say something, they're speaking from two different aspects. When a woman tell you, you just leave, just go, leave me alone, she's really speaking from how she feel. She really don't want you to leave. I mean, pack your bags, leave, get away from me. That's not really what she's telling you. She's really speaking you away from the way she feel, the way she's responding to the interaction that was taking place. And vice versa, when the man speaks, he speaks from a thinking point of view. He's logical. He's putting the two plus two to one plus one together. He's trying to figure out where's this coming from, why you're acting like you're acting. So he's speaking from a thinking perspective and not a feeling perspective. He still loves you, but he's speaking from logic. And so therefore, when we don't understand how we communicate with each other, we misinterpret what is being said or what's being experienced. And this is many times what causes us to wind up being bitter, being angry, breaking down communication, breaking down our sex life, breaking down our financial lives, because of the fact we misinterpret how we speak to each other. So communication is a vital part of our love language. We got to learn how to properly communicate our feelings and our thoughts in order to have a strong relationship with each other, because it's all about relating, how we relate to each other. You have great expectations for your relationship with your wife, with your husband, with your children. You have a great expectation because you come in with the expectation that this is going to be exciting, this is going to be wonderful for me, this is what I want in my life. We're gonna live a long, satisfied life. We're gonna live a happy life. We're gonna have a peaceful life, and that is our expectation, which is our destiny. But it's not always our journey. It's just a destiny. So we want to deal with the journey, because the journey is just as important, or the means of how we get to our destiny. So even though I have expectations, I also must have adjustments. in my expectation, because everything is not going to go the way I think it's going to go. It's not going to work the way I think it's going to work. Why is that? Because I'm dealing with someone who's on the other side of the table who may feel the opposite or different about my opinions or even my desires, or how I see something, or how I think about something, or how I perceive something. That person across the table may think different and perceive different and feel different about that particular goal or aspiration in life. They may not want to go. What happens when you got all these expectations and you want to go shopping, all of a sudden your husband says, well, I don't feel like going. So what are the emotions that goes on inside of you when he said, I don't feel like going? Or he may feel like, she may feel like, you want, as a male, you may want to have sex and she don't. How do you channel your emotions and your feelings when that happens to you? When the other partner do not want to be a part of that activity right at this moment. They're tired. They're not in a frame of mind thought, nor in the emotional groove or whatever it is that you're trying to do or achieve. And they just don't feel like being bothered with that right now. How do you internalize your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts, and how you're getting ready to relate to them? Or are you going to become bitter? Are you going to become angry? Are you going to try to assume or rationale why he don't, why she don't, why you throwing this excuse, why you don't want to be a part of my life, why don't be a part of my moment? You begin to have all these thoughts that goes through you in this realm of relating, that sometimes cause a breakdown in your communication, because our thought life really can get us in trouble, or how we relate to situations or responding to the emotions of our husband or our wife. You can start thinking all kind of crazy stuff. Your mind give you all kind of crazy reasons of why he or she don't want to participate. So you got to be able to cast down and bring your thought life under control, so you allow the emotions to be unchecked and the thoughts to be unchecked before you start saying verbiage out of your mouth that you really don't mean. And the danger of that is when words come out of your mouth, whether it's the way you feel or think, when that comes out of your mouth, it creates an environment. It creates an environment, and it can also cause the environment of hurt to take place. Now, not only am I not enjoying my moment of going to the shopping center, not only am I not enjoying my moment of having sex with my wife or husband, now I got to deal with this other issue I just created with my mouth, that's shutting down my emotions, my love language, my feelings. Now everything is being shut down because I have not controlled my emotions or my thought life, and I allowed my mouth to say something to destroy a moment in my life. And now I got to rebuild faith, rebuild trust, rebuild all the things that have gotten me to this place, got me to the marriage, got me with the man, or got me with the woman. I got to go back and rebuild all those things because I cannot control my emotion or keep my emotions or my thoughts in check. These things are vital. But when we don't know how to do this thing, because a lot of times we haven't gone down this road before, someone maybe your first time or second time, or you may be a place that, you just haven't retrained yourself or begin to catch yourself or have the right information about how you internalize situations within yourself before you allow them to come out of you. And when we don't have self-control, which is one of our virtues, is self-control, temperance. When we don't have self-control of our tongue, then our tongue becomes the fire that destroys our relationships. Now, the Bible says the wisdom is a house built, but a woman's mouth burns her house down. You see, so you got to begin to control your mouth. Take a moment, breathe, take a moment, reflect, take a moment, catch yourself. You know, men and women, you got to catch yourself. You got to catch yourself. Just like we have been taught, you know, you never chastise your children while you're angry,
Mhm.
because then you're out of control. You're out of balance. You're working from a point of view of being angry and not understanding.
Yes.
So now you're going to take out your vengeance on a child because of your anger. That's the same thing we do in relationship with adults.
Mhm.
We want to strike back. We want to get even. I want to make you hurt the way you made me hurt. That is evil. That is what we call control. You're trying to control someone else's thought, someone else's choices. In relationships, you can't do that. No
Mhm.
more you can do that as being a pastor and a member or a boss and employee.
Right.
You cannot control people emotions and feelings. That is something God gave them. That's something they must control themselves. But when
Yes.
we do try to do that, we're walking in a realm of really what we call witchcraft. You're
Right.
working witchcraft, trying to control one's emotions and feelings. And that's what most people do in relationships, and wonder why their relationship is so stressful, why it's under strain, why he don't want to come home, or why she don't want to come home, why they get involved in other things more than they have interaction with each other. Is
Yeah.
because of the fact of the spirit of control. The spirit of control. You got to give place to understand that everyone has the freedom of choice, even in a relationship. There's a freedom of choice. That's something I can't control. That's something I really don't want to control, because that makes me a master, a controller, a person who has to juggle all the pieces, to think and feel for the other person, to reason for the other person. I got to be your mind. I got to be your emotion. I got to be your thought. I got to be your conversation, because you don't know how to do nothing. That's a spirit of control. And that causes people really to reject, causes people to push away from the plate, push away from the relationship, want outside of the relationship, because of the spirit of control. I know the other side of that is, if we're trying to achieve something, we're trying to have goals. There are those who may be more informed than the other. Then
Mhm.
that person must willingly, freely give that person the position to control the situation, to be the mouthpiece of that situation. That's something they must freely do, not something being forced to do it, even though
Right.
you may know more, have more information. So these are the type of things is, when you go into a relationship, you go into a relationship with an expectation. That's our destiny. But you must understand that's a journey that you must travel. In the Bible, it clearly say in Amos 3:3, how can two walk together unless they first be in agreement? The scripture is clear that wherever two or three touch and agree, he says, I'm a God in the midst.
Mhm.
So therefore, we understand agreement has to be one of your strongest developing keys in your emotions, in your relationships with each other. How do we come to a place of agreement? Even if we disagree, yet we still have agreed to
Mhm.
disagree. It's okay to disagree. It's okay for me to have a different opinion than you.
Mhm.
It's okay for me to feel different about a situation than you feel about it in the relationship.
Right.
Even though I'm the husband, you're the wife, it's okay, because we've agreed that we have the liberty to feel and to think for ourselves.
Yes.
So when we take that from each other, now you enslave me, you imprison me when you try to take that from me. And that's where the ego of the man begin to rise up against a woman, and he
Mhm.
begin to strike back verbally, emotionally, and even financially. Sometimes he began to shut down on you. Why? Because now you're trying to up your authority to control him.
Mhm.
No man really wants to be controlled. No male man really wants to be controlled.
Right.
No woman, female, really wants to be controlled. She wants a strong man in her life, but she don't want to be controlled.
Mhm.
So you have to be able to understand her uniqueness and how she's adding to the relationship, his uniqueness, how he's adding to the relationship, and take advantage and appreciate, value the added that they're adding to your life.
Right.
You gotta appreciate that. Even the cavemen understood that. The cave woman understood that. Even if there was such a thing as a caveman and cave woman, I'm not sure on all evolution of all that kind of stuff. Adam had a garden; he didn't have a cave. So um, I don't know how all that came about, but just the reading of those type of things, the stories of those type of humans going through those kind of stages, you know, the caveman, the male, the husband, he would go out and gather food. He would go out and work and gather stuff to bring home, the food to bring home. He'd go to long hunts, maybe take him 2 or 3 days to find the animal he's trying to get to bring the food home or whatever. He was a provider. He protected his tribe. He fought off the adversaries. That's what he did. When he came home, the wife understood that her job was to take care of the house, that whatever he brought in, she was supposed to make sure that she administrated. She made sure that she was a place of administration. She made sure it stretched. She made sure her house, that the house became a home. She made sure that food was cooked, provision was done. Why? She appreciated what he added to the relationship.
Yes.
As a protector, as one who governed the house, she appreciated that. So when he came home and he was ready to eat, she knew he was ready. She didn't give it no fuss. You know, food is done, whatever. He wanted sex. Okay, we're going to take care of that too. Why? Because she valued his addition.
Yes.
When we begin in relationship, in relating, in our expectation, we have to be in a place that we appreciate, we value each other's gifts, their times, and their giving. This is called relationship when we're dealing with relating. So as I journey to my destiny, I must understand these values, how to value and appreciate the gift God has given me, the gift I have embraced it, you know, and their uniqueness,
Right.
how they operate, how they function,
Right.
the talent they bring to the table. I have to appreciate that and value that and not try to overwhelm or to control because it doesn't make me feel comfortable.
Yes.
That is another area that we're in our expectation. It's about what I think, it's about what I feel, it's about what I want. If you're getting in a relationship for that person only to fulfill your desires, then you're in error. You're in for a rude awakening, because relationship is really coming to the point that it's about us. It's not about me. It's about us. And when I can think along the lines and operate upon those lines and everything I go to do, it's about us. How we're making each other better, how we're adding to each other, how we're fulfilling our goals and our vision for each other that we both have agreed on, we both have expectations concerning, then I'm putting myself in a better position. The key thing you want you to take away from this to today is examine yourself. Relationship is what you make of it. It's what you make of it. It's what we make of it together. In each partner, a husband and wife in a relationship must understand themselves. When you become a better you, we become a better us. This is valuable. When you develop you,
Yes.
we become a better us.
Yes.
And so I want you to begin to take a recorder sometime when you're having a conversation with your wife and your husband and record yourself.
Wow.
Record how you sound. Record how your emotions come through your voice. So you can hear how you sound on the other side of the table and how he or she on the other side of the table is perceiving and receiving your heart, your emotions, your feelings, your thought, your creativity. Because a lot of times, most people do not hear themselves. They do not hear themselves. They do not hear the anger in their voice. They do not hear the control in their voice. They do not hear the me in their voice.
Right.
And therefore, you because you don't hear yourself, you think you're okay.
Mhm.
When
Mhm.
the person cross the table from you is having an earthquake, they're feeling an earthquake, they're feeling a tsunami, they're feeling a thunderstorm, a tornado is coming and hitting my life, hitting my emotions, my feelings, in my heart, in my thought life, and you don't feel it because it's you trying to control the
Right.
situation. No, we got to begin to rethink our position in our own perspection, expectation in our relationships. Again, it's not about me, it's about us. It's not about me, it's about us. I wrote something down that I want you to understand. I mentioned it for a few seconds ago about readjusting. Every vision, every vision go through a readjustment because we don't know all the future is going to hold. We don't know all that's going to come up. We try to prepare for the best in a vision that if anything happened, I have this extra money to deal with it. Anything happened, I have enough partners on board. I got at least 2 or 3 people that can do the same thing. So I'm trying to prevent anything from happening if it happens. I'm trying to control situations. But those control mechanism is in place because I don't know what is going to happen or what problem can happen in my building program or my business program. So I try to put pieces in place to try to control things in case stuff happen. Well, this is the same thing with relationship building. You have to make adjustments as you go down the road. Again, everything is not going to work the way I plan. Even if I drew it out on the blueprint, does not mean it's going to work the same way I wrote it down. Because things happen, life happens. And I have to make adjustments of how I'm going to deal with things that happen. The first thing I have to understand is eternalize what if something happened? Do I have my feelings, my emotions in check? That is important because this is relationship. It's how I relate to you. What happens? What happens if your partner get fired and you're living off both incomes? Now, all your expenses, all your bills, all your debts that you may have encountered together, because he is fired or she is fired, that money now is not coming in. So guess what I'm getting ready to do? Either I'm going to take on a second job to cover that loss, or I'm going to pressure her or him to go get a job. Why? Because the debt is going to put pressure on the family. It's going to bring stress on the family. Why? Because we owe these people. This is our vision. We're trying to buy this house. We got these 3 cars. We got our kids in private school. We got all these bills to be paid. We got these credit cards we've been using. So we got to have money to deal with all this stuff. Now I got to deal with how I internalize my feelings and my emotions. Because when that happens, stress start coming in. It's like the walls start caving in. If I can't relate during this rough time, if I can't relate properly during this moment when the walls seem to be falling in, things are not working the way I thought it was going to work. We're always going to be in help. We're all going to have a good job. We're all going to have a good income. This type of stuff. When this stuff begin to break down, stress begin to come in on the family. And if I'm not having my emotions and my feelings in check, we could be headed to divorce court. Because pressure gonna cause my emotions and my feelings and my reasoning and my all this stuff gonna start just going off like the 4th of July. Why? Because the fact it creates a situation of pressure. So how I feel and think upon the pressure situations is important, that I realize nothing that I'm gonna face, nothing that I'm gonna go through in these arenas is more important than my relationship with you. With my relationship with you. We're not going to allow the pressure to separate us. to have us at a place of miscommunication, or a place of fighting verbally with each other because we're having a situation. All of this in relationship can be established when you and I understand how to control our emotions, how to control our feelings. This is what relationship is.
Yes.
But you got to understand this. And this is why so many people divorce, separate, physically fight each other, throw things around the house and break up stuff you got to go buy all over again. Is because of the fact you can't control your emotions and feelings.
Mm-hmm.
The journey is going to have pressure moments.
Yes.
The journey is going to have backset moments. The journey, you're going to face obstacles. You're going to face rejection. You're going to face moments where you're not in agreement. You're going to face moments where you're going to try to proceed to do something because I know it's right. I feel like it's right. I don't need his opinion. I don't need her second. Amen to it. No, I'm going to do it because I know it. And you're just going to proceed some moments and just go ahead and do stuff, even though your mate is not even in agreement with you.
Yes.
You're going to have to be able to deal with those things in relationship, because they not only come to and happen in relationship, but they also come to fortify our love for each other. If you really look from a good point of view, without a test, my love is improving. I can love you when things are going well, when the bills are being paid, we got money in the bank, the kids are doing good. I mean, we got 3 or 4 cars in the yard. I mean, we're doing good. Anybody can love when things are going well. It's when the test happens. It's when the pressure comes on.
My God.
Then know whether you love me or you love the stuff or you love the convenience.
My God.
Can you love me going through the struggle? Can you love me going through the fight when things, the pressure is on? Can you love me when the teapot is boiling over? Can you love me then? This is an arena that many folks are tested in, that they keep failing. They keep failing the test and wonder why they can't stay in relationship, because most of the time the relationship is about you. It's not about us. It's not about you changing. It's not about you readjusting. It's not about you having a different perspective of what's going on.
Right.
You have to come to that revelation. I've been in a relationship, marriage now 39 years. I'm headed toward my 40th year relationship, of marriage. Listen, with the same wife, the same woman. Look, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't even Steven all the way across the board. We have different ideas. We have different thoughts. We don't care for the same television programs. We don't care for the same room temperature. There's a lot of things we don't care about alike. But the idea is we had to make adjustments. Yes. Because our love for each other was more stronger than the television show.
Yes.
Whether I sit here and watch a movie that I don't care about. You know, I'm watching a movie that I do care about, and she don't care about it. You know, or she care about shopping, and I don't want to go. We had to overcome all these hurdles because of the fact, even though we both could have been doing it together, the idea is we both going to be enjoying it. So we value us having valuable, enjoyable time with each other.
Yes.
Than just being in the room with each other. It becomes the difference. Why have you in the room and you're miserable?
Wow.
You're uncomfortable. You're looking for any moment to get up and leave. You're looking for a reason to walk. You hope the phone ring. You hope somebody knock on the door. You hope a friend come on so you can get out the room. Something to happen. Because you're miserable, because this is not where you want to be. You'd rather have people who enjoy being with you than being miserable around you. I like to say it like this: go where you're celebrated and not where you're tolerated.
Yes.
I'd rather be around people who value who I am, who value my presence, who value my gifts and my time, than to be around somebody who despises me.
Wow.
That's relationship, whether I'm in a marriage or whether we're co-workers or people who say they're your friends. It's about relationship. It's about relating. So my patience in my relationship must understand that the person who I'm coming in relationship with, I'm relating to, may not feel the same way I feel
Yes.
about everything. Then I have to make adjustments. I have to make adjustments. If it have to be my way all the time, I'm in trouble. I'm gonna be a lonely person. I'm gonna always be by myself.
Right.
That's not what where I'm supposed to be. That's not what I should be doing. Relationship is about both of us together enjoying the moment. That
Yes.
we can. And that moment can be 75 years of marriage, 75 years of friendship, somebody you grew up with, y'all still friends today. Why? Because of the fact we enjoyed each other company, we enjoy each other presence, and we
Yeah.
have learned how to adapt to each other feelings and emotions and ideals. We don't have to always be on the same ideal or agreement with the same ideal.
Yes.
We may not like the same color. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You see, but when you got to try to force somebody to like what you like, that is miserable. That is miserable. So I have to accept the differences and
Yes.
the uniqueness that my wife brings to the table and value those things. And when it's not in my favor, that she don't like what I like or don't do what I want to do, then I have to accept that's her feeling. That's what she feels. That's how at the moment. That's how she feels. Wait till the moment change. Wait till the moment come where she say, "Well, let's sit down and watch television together." Wait for that feeling to happen instead of trying to force it. Wait for it to happen. And when
Yes.
they embrace it freely, you're gonna enjoy the moment. You're gonna enjoy the moment when they embrace it freely. Listen, I'm excited to be with you today,
Yes.
sister. We're winning to life, sister Angela. It's been a blessing to be here with you. You can go to my website, DACM David A Cowan Ministries.com, and you can look at some of the videos, or you can look at contact me there. I'll be more than happy to respond to any questions you may have, or even if you contact Sister Angella Wynn with questions, whatever. We'll probably get together some day in the future, and we'll make this happen again, and we'll be able to update your questions with answers. But it's
Yes.
been my joy and pleasure. We're winning today with Angella to be with you, and Angella, back into your hands.
Yes, 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 yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's not, I got a whole page full of, look, I got a whole page full of notes. I've been writing. Yes.
Uh,
But it's not, I love it. It's not about me, it's about
uh,
us. And I love it. I love it. I love it. And I also heard you say something about, you talked about the pressure, and you think about pressure, you think about the pipes when pressure bursts pipes.
yes.
So if you're not willing to, some pipes have little valves that you turn to kind of adjust the pressure or whatever.
Awesome.
In the relationships, we have to turn those valves and readjust and make adjustments, because
Uh,
it's not about who, it's not
uh,
just about us, me, but it's about
uh,
us. So
uh,
yes, I love it. I love it. I really appreciate you, Pastor, for joining us. And yes, will most definitely be get back on this again, because if you just sit and have conversations with people, you will hear the relationship tones of that they're dealing with, and it's just, hey, I don't know. I can't explain it. I ain't gonna even try to explain it. But all I know is the tools, the value is being added. And those of you that's out there that's listening, it may not be you, but it may be someone that you know. So
yes.
hey, let them know. Hey, go to the archives and do the replays and listen to it over and over. There will be more that's going to be happening. And also, I know that, across the weeks, Pastor, I know that you said that you're going to be having different things, I think on Wednesday nights
Yes.
at your ministry, that the people can come in and get the teaching, get the value. And don't just come and get it, but get it and put it into action. Do
Amen.
something with the information that you receive, right? Even though it may not be for you, it might be for somebody else. Get it and share it. But we want to thank you so much for taking your time to join us here on Winning Today with Angella. And We always pray for you. We always look for you weekly because we know that you always show up and you always show out. And we love you so much. But thank you so much for joining us right here at Winning Today with Angella on Elevation TV Network. And we will see you the same place, same time, right here next week on Elevation TV Network. Thank you, Pastor Cowan. We will see you the next time. And we most definitely will let you all know so that you can have those dials ready to listen in and get those notepads and be ready to take those notes. But you all have a great night. Have a great day tomorrow. Enjoy your families. Love on your families. And we love you much. Have a great one.
Bless you.